God bless you, and God bless America. God bless you, and God bless America. And you know something? God bless our Jewish people in America, because they're not you. They are not you. Our Jewish people are honest, are respectful.
Don't intimidate Jews. Okay?
Nobody does, and you don't intimidate Palestinians neither.
What about them?
Bomb didn't intimidate us. You're not going to be able to intimidate us.
No, he can't speak while we were doing. I don't want him to say as well.
He stayed in the back. I didn't care. Coming here is a different story, right? Okay. Well, I know you're going to edit all that.
There's a lot of talk. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel good because I believe in humanity, and I believe people everywhere will come for the humanity and will support what's just. For many, many years in the United States, I've been in the United States 41 years, and I've seen more good and more human work and feeding the hungry, supporting the weak. We live in a culture that is generally one of the best cultures around, and it just makes me feel good that people are still following and believing in that culture. This is what gives us hope that one day we will reach peace. One day we will have people living together, hugging each other, kissing each other, people together, humans as they should be. It is sad, no matter, like I said before, I am not going to even discuss the excuse or what's behind anything. This is not political. 10,000 murdered, almost 30,000 injured. You are bombarding a concentration camp that has people with nowhere to go. You're bombing the hospitals, you're bombing the schools, you're not allowing any human aid or medicine to go in. I don't know what else can even be called genocide. If this is not, I honestly don't understand it. And this claim about they're trying to flush Hamas. You know, we have school shooters. They hide in schools. How many times we bombed the school because the shooter inside? And I'm going to ask this question to all people who support Israel. If Hamas people went and they hid in Tel Aviv, are they going to bomb Tel Aviv? No, they won't. So this bull about trying to flush or to do anything, this is just their excuse for the ethnic cleansing, to kill the Palestinians. And what was Hamas' excuse 3 months ago when the IDF went with the colonial people, settlers as they call them, they're not, and they went and they burned the city of Hawara in the West Bank at night with the protection of the IDF, light the houses on fire. 2 weeks later they went and they did the same thing in Tel Masaya. There is no Hamas. Tel Masaya is actually, most people there are American citizens. They went, they burned their city, they burned their houses. We cannot accept excuses for genocide because there is no excuse to genocide. I am not going to go with what the Nazis did before the Holocaust. Israel is doing the same exact thing. Israel is repeating the same exact tactics by the Nazis. They are trying to dehumanize people. They are trying to make things look like those people are less. I'm not going to repeat Winston Churchill, if a higher race occupies another race, then it's okay because you're actually improving them. I'm not going to promote racism. I'm not going to promote genocide. I'm not going to support any of that, and I don't care who it's happening to. It is wrong. As a human being, we cannot support that. As a human being, all this money poured into Israel. Look at Salem downtown. This is all where the homeless are. Just $14 billion a couple of days ago. Who deserved it more? To kill the Palestinians for $14 billion, or to feed and house the homeless. We complain about all these missing, mass and cast, and I'm just talking Massachusetts, not even nationwide. Trillions of dollars is going for a war. every rocket you kill a Palestinian with cost us at least $10 million. You know how many homeless are those? You know how many housing units are those? You know how much health care you can get for those? Let's stop the war-mongering culture. Let's start peace. And it's the saddest thing when the whole United Nations voted for a ceasefire just for 3 countries to stop it because of the veto. Israel, UK, and the United States. Shame on Biden and shame on his representatives. I don't know what's his excuse. I don't know how he's gonna.
Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
We are all taxpayers.
Free, free Palestine! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Stop the genocide! Please stop the genocide! Stop the genocide!
We are all taxpayers. And I challenge any of those people here, if he tell me he is okay with his tax money to go to this war or to this genocide. The decision is made by 3% of the people in Congress, 70% of Americans, according to surveys by you, the news, which I am not too happy with, because you are one-sided. All this is happening. 70%, they say stop the killing, they say we have to go for peace, just for 3% to keep feeding and feeding our money and our resources to go to what? Where we're gonna end up? Does a whole nation have to dissolve from the first of the earth just so somebody can be happy? I don't get it. We need to stop the genocide, stop the ethnic cleansing, cease fire now. No question, no ifs or buts. Thank you. Okay, guys, can we please gather here to this side, please? If you need extra justice.
Hey, Dustin with the news. I'm just going to block this because I'm recording in case there's an incident, but I wanted to know if I can get your number to talk to you later.
Who are you?
Dustin Luca with the Salem News. You're with the Jewish Journal. You just have to come.
I'm the publisher.
Yeah. Would you be willing to talk later? Or?
About what?
I'm sorry?
About what?
Yes.
I'm happy to talk about Israel, sure. Absolutely.
Okay. Can I get your number?
I'll be right here. I'll wait for you.
Okay. Go.
I always start everywhere I go. I say Salaam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Salaam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Peace be with you. Everybody here shakes their head because whoever saw me speaking before, I always start with this. Because this is who we are. We are all religion, all colors, all people, no exception, nobody's out. I would like to ask you all to start with a moment of silence for the 10,000 people plus who got murdered in the last 21 days. And for all the innocent victims of violence everywhere, irrelevant to what and how it happened. If you're an innocent victim of violence like these 10,000 people, please let's take a moment of silence for all of them. Now I'm going to give the microphone to Lily, my good partner in crime.
Oh, wait a minute. Right? Come on.
Good trouble.
Good trouble. May he rest in peace.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for coming out today to stand in solidarity with Palestine and to call an end for the genocide. We are North Shore for Palestine, a new group that is forming, and if you're interested in joining us, find me after and I'll get your contact info so you can stay up to date. And I want to start off by being explicit about the values we're creating together in this space, that Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, homophobia, hate of any kind will not be tolerated. That's who we are. I also want to be very clear that criticizing the government of Israel is not inherently anti-Semitic. And in fact, right now, it is critical that we criticize their actions. Since October 7th, Israel has dropped the equivalent of 2 nuclear bombs on Gaza, funded by our tax dollars. 10,000 civilians have died, nearly half of whom are children. Israel has bombed hospitals, ambulances, refugee camps, schools, journalists. Every 10 minutes a child is killed. There is no access to food, clean water, medical supplies, and other life-saving necessities. Make no mistake about it, this is genocide. And the vast majority of our elected officials, from Joe Biden to not all but many of our city council members, have stood in silence in this moment, and it is not okay. We are here to demand that our elected officials call for an immediate ceasefire now, an end to hostilities, and an opening of all aid back into Gaza. And we're here to show that the North Shore stands with Palestine. We are very lucky to be joined by 3 amazing community members who are going to share their perspective on this issue and why it is so important to them. And then Fawaz is going to lead us in a march to Seth Moulton's office so he can hear us loud and clear, and to City Hall. We need to make sure our elected officials know that we want to let Gaza live in a ceasefire now. Ceasefire now! 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 And next I'm going to welcome Sabrina, a Jewish community member who goes to Salem State University, to share her perspective on this issue and why it's so important. Hi everyone. My name is... Okay, I'm going to try to do this without crying.
Let's get this right.
My name is Sabrina Zelansky. I am a proud Jewish woman. I love being a Jew, and I do not stand for the genocide that's happening in Gaza. I want to make this very clear. There are a lot of Jewish people and a lot of people in general in support of Israel saying that this started on October 7th. This has been happening for the past 75 years. This did not start on October 7th. This has been happening for a long time. It took me to be educated by the Palestinian youth because my Jewish community and the American media will not tell me the truth about the terrorist state that is Israel. When I was in the 9th grade, I met a girl named Samia. One day at our soccer practice, we were talking, and she told me that her family was from Palestine. I asked her if she'd ever been, and she told me she's never been and how hard it was for her father to go into the country. I was really confused because me as an American Jew who has been to Israel, it's so easy for me to go in there. I've been told that that is my home. I can buy any part of land I want with any Palestinian person living in that land. I mean, that doesn't sound right to me. But when I was a junior, I met a boy and he told me what a settlement was. I told him where my family lived in Israel, in Ariel, and he explained to me what a settlement was, how Jewish people, they take over land, not Jewish people, but Israeli people, and Jewish people too, we're a part of it, taking over innocent Palestinian lands because this is our indigenous right. My indigenous land is not Israel. I have no indigenous roots to Israel. I come from Ukraine. I come from the Dominican Republic. I come from Ukraine, and my people are fighting for the right to exist the same way the Palestinian people have been fighting for the right to exist for 75 years. I come from the Dominican Republic, where the Haitians, from the Haitian Revolution, helped free Santo Domingo. I come from decolonization. I come from countries that fight for the right to existence. I am Jewish, and for that reason solely, that I am Jewish, I fight for Palestine. Because there is nothing Jewish about the state of Israel. There is nothing Jewish about terrorism. There is nothing Jewish about this. You cannot keep people in occupation for 75 years and then get mad when they want their land back. You cannot get mad when people are tired of the Israeli government killing Palestinian journalists and blaming it on Palestinian people. You cannot call these people terrorists for fighting for their land. This is their land that we took from them. The Palestinian people welcomed. They welcomed with open arms the Jewish people, and we took that for granted, and we are now killing them by the numbers. Gaza has ended school for the year because half of the children have died. They cannot continue school. They are living in flies. They are living in decay. Their toilets don't work. And it is in the name of Jewish people that they are doing this. Israel is doing this in my name for my benefit, and I will not stand for it. Israel is doing this for me to have a homeland. I have a homeland. I am here. I am standing safe. I am a Jewish person who is not afraid to walk outside. Because guess what? In Tel Aviv, we are living fine and safe. The acts that happened on October 7th were horrible. We know that. We don't have to condemn that. I don't have to condemn Hamas to understand what was bad. I don't have to condemn anything. If you're not going to condemn the IDF, if you're not going to condemn the atrocious acts, they are tying the bodies of Palestinian people and driving them around. They are kidnapping people. Free the hostages. But if you don't know where the hostages are, why are you bombing Gaza so recklessly? You are going to kill them. Why are you bombing a refugee place because one Hamas leader was there? Supposedly. That is collective punishment. That is a war crime. Collective punishment is a war crime that Israel is getting away with many other war crimes. And they are doing this in the name of Jewish people. They are using the Holocaust. I am the direct descendant of people who survived from the Holocaust, and you will not use my ancestors' trauma. You will not use the resistance of my people to do the same thing that the Nazis did to us. My father fled Ukraine because of the prosecution of Jewish people in the late 80s. And you will not do this, saying you are making a safer space for me, because you are not doing that. You are killing innocent people in my name! In my Jewish name! There is nothing Jewish about this! We do not stand for this! Israel does not stand for all Jewish people, and Zionism is a white supremacist ideology. It's been taking me a long pill to swallow to understand that this place that I was told was my home and was a place for me to feel safe, and I have family who serve in the IDF, who live in settlements. It's been a hard pill to swallow, but I have to understand that if I'm so scared of a free Palestine, it's because my safety relies on the death of thousands and millions of people. They deny the Nakba. They say it never happened. They say it wasn't that bad. 750,000 Palestinians were dismissed from their homes in one day. One day, and we continue to do it in the name of Jewish people. I am a Jew against the genocide of Palestinians, and I am a Jew against violence, and that is what Israel is portraying, and that is what Israel will continue to portray till someone puts an end to this. From river to the sea, Palestine will be free, and that does not mean the eradication of the Jewish people, which the Zionist media likes to say. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free!
Thank you, friends. Next, it is my greatest pleasure to introduce you to Lena, a Palestinian woman from Salem who is a student and amazing activist, and she's here to share her perspective.
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Peace be upon you all. Thank you to everyone who came out today. My name is Lena. I'm a Salem resident, originally from Turkey, Palestine. I'm the granddaughter of survivors of the Nakba, The catastrophe of 1948 that saw mass forced eviction of over 800,000 Palestinians. I am the daughter of parents who lived under the violence of occupation, and I am standing before you today as a descendant of the Palestinian people who have been subjected to ethnic cleansing, apartheid, and occupation for over 75 years. What we are witnessing in Palestine right now is a modern-day Nakba. In 1948, my grandparents were held at gunpoint to violently force them out of their homes. Today, the occupation is dropping over 25,000 tons of bombs on the people of Gaza to murder thousands of Palestinians and force them from their homes. Shame! Shame! And even when the people of Gaza seek refuge in hospitals, schools, churches, and mosques, the occupation bombs their sanctuaries and tries to avert condemnation by asking the world to accept its lies. Shame! Shame! The occupation is targeting the most densely populated areas in Gaza. 2 days ago, the occupation bombed an ambulance carrying injured Palestinians near Al-Shifa Hospital, the largest hospital in Gaza. 3 days ago, they destroyed the largest refugee camp in Gaza, murdering hundreds of people. The occupation is targeting journalists and their families to deter them from reporting this truth. The occupation is forcing doctors in Gaza to perform surgeries without electricity or anesthesia. The occupation is committing a genocide. We are witnessing a genocide, and we demand that the city of Salem, the United States government, and the world call it as it is. It is a genocide. The occupation is trying to commit a mass eradication of my people, the Palestinian people, and we do not stand for that. The Palestinians in Gaza are my family. Its children are my children, its women are my sisters, and its men are my brothers. And I refuse to stand by. I refuse to stand by and allow the occupation to murder my bloodline. I refuse to stand by and allow the occupation and its accomplices to wipe out generations and generations of my family. I refuse to stand by and allow Western media to spew lies about my people. I refuse to stand by and allow my people to turn into statistics as the death toll in Gaza exceeds over 10,000 human beings. And that does not even include the people stuck under the rubble. I refuse to stand by and allow a complete destruction of the Palestinian people. Palestinians are being slaughtered. Bombs funded in the billions by the United States using our tax dollars are being used to commit war crimes. The Palestinian children in Gaza are being murdered, and those who survive are being forced to live without a family. The occupation is trying to strip our children from a future beyond the besieged wall. Palestinian men are being kidnapped, tortured, and humiliated. The occupation is trying to strip our men from their dignity. And Palestinian women, who are at the core of our struggle and breed our revolutionaries, are being deliberately targeted. The lack of water and sanitary products is forcing them to take pills to stop their periods. Thousands of women are having miscarriages, stillbirths, and C-sections with no anesthesia. The occupation is trying to ethnically cleanse a generation of Palestinians before they're even born. For over 75 years, the occupation has tried to claw violence into every aspect of Palestinian life. They have tried to restrict our movement, cut off our water, food, and electricity, and strip us of our basic necessities. The occupation is trying to instill hopelessness into the hearts of Palestinians, but they are trying to break our spirits. But the occupation is failing. The occupation is failing. The settler colonialist regime is collapsing. They have been failing for over 75 years because Palestine and its people are alive today, and we refuse to have our land violently stolen and our people erased.
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Stop the genocide!
Brothers and sisters, after 75 years of persecution, I stand before you as living proof of the occupation's failure. To our martyrs, we say, Alhamdulillah, praise be to God, they are resting peacefully in paradise. And to our freedom fighters, we say, Allah yahmihum wa yukawwihum, God protect them and give them strength. Palestinians are resilient, and the revolution is everlasting. And know that when we fight for Palestinian liberation, we are fighting for the liberation of all oppressed people. From our black brothers and sisters here in the United States to our brown brothers and sisters in Kashmir. The Zionist regime may have Western governments, Hollywood, and the media, but by God, they do not have the people. All of you here today are voices of the revolution. Do not let Zionist forces intimidate you or scare you to silence. You are the voices of our martyrs and our freedom fighters in Gaza. You embody the presence of the Palestinian people. So use your voices and platforms to amplify Palestinian voices and assert the eternal existence of Palestine. We are here today to demand that our government immediately end military aid to Israel. We demand an end to all complicity with the occupying settler colonialist regime, and we demand an immediate ceasefire in Gaza and an end to the merciless slaughtering of the Palestinian people. We are here today to demand a free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Thank you. Thank you, Lena. Next, I would like to welcome Jill, another Salem community member who has very close ties to Gaza and the Palestinian people.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. I'm here today to be really brief because this is really something that's been sitting at home with me for 35 years. I've been married to Palestinians from Gaza City, Gaza Strip. I mean, for 30 years, you know, I've been kind of dealing with the outfall of what goes on in his home life and his family life back in Gaza. I've been there twice. I was there once under Arafat back in 1999. And same things were happening back in 1999 that were happening in 2012 when I went back with all my children there. We stayed 5 weeks, and then we come back, and we have, 3, 4 more little intifadas or revolutions because the Palestinian people are again being bombarded, being kept from water, electricity. The children that I was with in Gaza, they make fun and they laugh and they said, oh, here comes electricity, 5, 2, 1, bing, and it goes in the middle of the movie. Then the generator goes on. So I actually went up to the roof because I said, I got to see this for myself. Huge generators. And my mother, alhamdulillah, my mother-in-law, was lucky enough to be able to afford a generator. Most of the Palestinians cannot afford generators, and they use old generators, and they wind up, getting benzene, which is gas, which unfortunately sometimes backfires, and then you have small children catching on fire. So the things that the Palestinians have to live through day to day to day, even before this October 7th incident, it's unconscionable. And I went there, and I was almost stuck there because before I was supposed to go home, a week before I was supposed to leave, there was another shooting on the Rafah border, and they closed down the whole border. And I remember texting my husband because, alhamdulillah, I went with my 5 kids. He stayed home. I didn't speak Arabic, and I just was in the bedroom. Oh my God, I'm going to be stuck. And then I'm like, well, how bad is it? Because you know what? My family, my husband's family's been here for years and years and years. And you know what? I can do this if I have to. And by alhamdulillah, we had contacts. I mean, thank God we had contacts. We were able to leave Egypt. But let me tell you, it made me see things in a whole different eye. I mean, being exposed, to that conflict for a very long time, but actually being there and feeling like, even though I wasn't captive, but it felt that way because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to leave. And I didn't have bombs dropping on me. Again, lucky. I had water, I had electricity, we had fuel, but the